Whether you're looking for manufactured or natural stone to accent or update your exterior or interior project of any size, Centurion Stone of Iowa offers a variety of styles, patterns, and colors for every need. Centurion Stone, our own manufactured stone product, has the look and feel of natural stone and is available in over 200 color and pattern combinations. We also provide natural stone for interior and exterior projects. Our Des Moines and Omaha locations are open daily. Browse our wide variety of product samples with our helpful staff. They'll answer any questions that you have. Check us out on the web at centurionstoneofiowa.com. Hello and welcome to a little post game here on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network. Of course, we are on the Cyclone Fanatic social media feeds as well, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Iowa State goes into Cincinnati, wins tonight 68-59. I want to thank our presenting sponsor, Carl Auto Group. Before we get into this, Rob Gray joins me where this was a kind of a dominant win, man. I mean, it got a little bit dicey, but you know, you force, what do they end up forcing? 28 turnovers?
25.
Against Cincinnati. 25 turnovers. You better win. And they did. I know a lot of Iowa State fans were watching that a little bit nervous down the stretch, but it was a really dominant win. And I think I'm not going to go through it yet, but I could make an argument that was the most impressive win of the year for Iowa State. I know that they've beaten better teams in Cincinnati, but Cincinnati plays everybody close. And it was just dominant across the board. Everybody played well. They got contributions from everywhere. I said it on Williams and Bloom Sunday night. I said it to Chris Hassel this week. This is a Final Four caliber team. There's no doubt in my mind now. I'm not saying they're going to be there. I'm saying they have all the ingredients of teams that make the Final Four. Iowa State has it.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that. I mean, when you think about what Jackson Pavlovitsky gave them again in brief minutes, hit that big, long contested two to beat the shot clock, had a nice assist. On a night where Milan Momcilovic goes 1 for 5, Curtis Jones again, 12 points in the second half, 15 points overall, tied for the team lead with Taman Lipsy, and Taman was tough as nails again. Trey King hits the big 1-and-1. Gilbert at least hit a front end to one before that. They're just getting everything. And I mean, pregame, we talked about rebounding. They got rebounded by 14, 15-8 on the offensive glass. When you shoot 48%, force 25 turnovers, 26-15 edge and points off turnovers, you're going to win that game. And I mean, Cincinnati is a dominant rebounding team, but Robert Jones, 6 of 7 from the field, really big early for Iowa State. I think leading rebounder for the team was 6. So, I mean, you just got everybody chipping in, like you said. And, I mean, for teams that can make deep runs in March, you need a deep roster. And the Cyclones have that at this point. And as you said, I mean, third road win of the season, tied atop the Big 12 with Houston now at 8-3. And, if you would have said that going into the season with the new bunch of guys, I think every Iowa State fan would have said, sign me up immediately.
36 points in the paint for Iowa State just dominant to 14. A couple guys really stand out to me, and everybody contributed, okay? Even like Momcilovic with 2 points, played good defense. Right? Like he had a couple steals, I thought, tonight, something like that.
Yep.
The first guy I'm going to point out is Ward, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Key block in that stretch in the second half where it felt like Cincinnati was starting to gain some momentum. He's just an eraser. And you look at the rest of the guys, they have really good players who play hard. None of them are what I would call an eraser defensively. They just play so well collectively together. Ward is that rim protector eraser that's just been so hard for this program to find. And Iowa State probably still wins this game if he doesn't make that play, but it staved off that run. And then you go back down and Jones hits a 3 and he's the other guy I point out.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the difference in this team compared to now, really, and there's so many differences. But in November, when they struggled a little bit, and Jones couldn't hit a shot, and now he's, I mean, maybe your most consistent offensive player. That sounds
Yeah.
crazy, but Gilbert's a little more up and down. Like he'll have higher highs. Lipsy's been a little up and down. He was great tonight. I'm talking about as scoring goes. Those guys do other things really well. And
Yep. Yeah.
Momchilovich, still has a little freshman in him, but like Jones has just been so solid, really, since that TCU game. I mean, he would definitely get my player of the game tonight.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's a 7th straight game in double figures. I mean, he's come up big, both from the field and the line. And we've talked about his defense being so much better, and he talked about it this week. And it's been talked about frequently about Iowa State. If you don't defend, you don't play. And he learned that really quick. And he said at Buffalo, he was good enough that if he didn't defend that well, they still needed him on the floor. They didn't have any other option. At Iowa State, there are options. So he's picked it up on that end too. Um, I think one of the key things is in these games on the road where you do so many things well, especially when Iowa State forcing turnovers, being kind of their Cyclone's calling card, something happens. And what happened for Cincinnati this game is they shot 39% from 3-point range, hit 9 threes after shooting something like 29% in Big 12 play before that. Really kind of kept them in the games, as did the offensive rebounding. And they went to the free throw line over twice as much as Iowa State. Didn't hit it a great clip. Iowa State 7 of 8. So you can't argue that Iowa State got a lot of breaks at the line. Cincinnati certainly got more opportunities, and these are the wins you have to get if you're going to win a Big 12 regular season title for the first time since 2000, when they got the full deal, 2000 and 2001, right? And so it is a huge win. Going back to what you said, it may be their best game. I mean, we've said that multiple times over this stretch where they won 6 of 7. I mean, the TCU game, dominant. And TCU came in with all the motivation of the world, chip on their shoulder after losing to Iowa State in its place, and just nothing. They had some fight, got it to 7 like Cincinnati did, but could not remotely close the deal because of how good Iowa State defends. And as you noted, the shot makers they have. Special team, a lot of season still to do, but 3 wins at this point. Certainly everything's on the table with 7 remaining before the Big 12 tournament.
I want to give a shout out to our buddies from Kelderman Manufacturing. That I know they're watching right now. What's up, fellas? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting what we do here on Cyclone Fanatic. The last point I would make tonight is to have this team in this type of a position right now. We hammered the storylines all off season, right? Like there's nothing new. We knew it was a more talented team. We knew that it was a younger team. The question would be, can you get that team defensively to buy in? We clearly saw early that they had bought in. Then it came to question of, well, how good are they going to be in the Big 12? And early on, it didn't look great. I mean, you watch that Oklahoma game and you're like, uh-oh. This coaching staff I just think deserves a ton of credit to have this team ranked where it is defensively. Who was it the other night? It was one of the big time commentators made a comment about Iowa State saying like, oh no, it was Bill Self in Hilton Coliseum where he's like, I don't think there's any of those players. He was talking about Niang, and to have these guys like where they are defensively, they're night and day above where I thought this group could be. I thought they could be really good, Rob. Like I thought this would be a really good defensive team. I did not, and I don't think TJ did either. I don't think they thought it would be elite like this, and they have come on so well in the last 2 months. I just think Kyle Green and and J.R. Blount and Nate Schmidt, like those guys, they deserve a ton of credit for where this group is.
No question. And conversations going back to early in the season when we saw, so much more scoring ability, with the 3 transfer guards, I think the consensus was, I know you and Bloom talked about it, and I think we talked about it too. This team's going to be markedly better offensively. and Otzelberger's first two teams, but probably not as good defensively. Like, go back and look at Ken Palm. Last year, 8th in adjusted defensive efficiency, sitting at 3rd still right now this year. Even year 1, 5th, but 171st in offense, then 114th in offense. And now we're sitting at 45 in offense. So, I mean, it's just, like you said, it is remarkable what they've done, but I mean, they also brought in the right guys.
They did. Beautiful roster building with this group.
And when you have guys like Big Rob and Taman is a sophomore, but Big Rob is a super senior. I mean, they're going to tell you, hey, here's what you got to do to succeed here, and here's what you got to do to be a good teammate. Here's what you got to do to ensure that we're going to have the type of team that can go compete in the best conference in America. And not only are they competing, which we knew they would, they're tied atop the league standings. And I mean, Texas Tech, it looked like they were frauds for a little while, but after last night, even a depleted Kansas team, they're sitting right there at 7-4. There are other teams there. I mean, we got Baylor playing tonight against Oklahoma. I mean, there are teams that are going to get themselves up maybe close to that top tier. But right now, top tier, as we said coming into the game, it's Houston and Iowa State. And I don't think anyone else is really close at this point. So that can change. But I think that's been firmly established through 11 games.
As we record this, the metrics have not updated. I would guess. So as I'm saying this, Iowa State's a 10 on Ken Palm. That's not factoring in the Cincinnati win. I would guess that a 9-point road win will at least move Iowa State up to 9 or 8.
Yeah.
After this, a couple guys are saying in the chat here that North Carolina lost tonight. I haven't seen any other scores. I've just been.
Well, they were down at Syracuse, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But we are at that point of the year where we're going to start looking at seeds, and I said to Bloom on Sunday night, I think this team's got real 2-seed potential, and crazy things could happen. You could get to a 1, but I think 2-seed Omaha is highly in play. I mean, because I'm just looking down here, and we'll wrap this thing up soon. Rob's got it right, and Bloom and I are going on at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Everybody, so complete analysis of all this. But yeah, like Iowa State's going to be favored every game, Rob, the rest of the way, except at Houston.
Yeah, Houston, yeah.
Like, you're a favorite in every game the rest of the way. So, now that doesn't mean you'll win them all, but like that was a point I made to you in pregame, that they've done the hard work. Like, the rest of this stuff is like cherry on top. So it gets you at 7 or 8-4 after tonight. We thought all off season long, you get to 8-10, you would probably be in the NCAA tournament. So now you're playing, go and run that thing up and get that 2-seed. There you go.
Yeah, and if it actually plays out that they win all the games they're favored in, you might be looking at a 1-seed.
I mean, just depending on what else happens. Yeah.
I mean, now that the outside chance of that, but I mean, the critical thing here, and I didn't know we are wrapping up, getting to Omaha would be such a big deal. Get those first and second round games there. No guarantee you win the first round game, but
nice road trip for us too. Just get in the truck and
keep one. Keep guys
over.
Got to keep guys healthy. I've had some injuries earlier in the season. I can't afford any injuries to the big guys, but we've seen it. This team started looking like a different animal when Taman had to sit out the TCU game with the shoulder injury, and that showed to me the toughness of this team and the togetherness of this team. And again, there's no guarantee it's going to play out with them even winning all the games they're going to be favored in at all. But I mean, they've certainly set themselves up to be in a great position heading into the Big 12 tournament and, of course, the NCAA tournament. And like you said, testament to the coaches and a testament to the old guys and the new guys on this team who are as tight as both of the last two teams. And I don't think that's by design, but it's not easy to do.
Well, tonight was boring. Boring is good. There's a lot of these. Nothing boring about that is what all of our lists. I'm just saying, like, I felt like it. Everybody kind of looked around. We're like, this is going to be like the Texas and TCU games. It's going to get interesting, and it most certainly never did. Keyshawn Gilbert hit the front end of a 1-1. Now he missed the second shot, but down the stretch, we're just looking for all the positives here. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Makes the show so much better when you're on here with me. and I know our people appreciate it too. And as I said, Bloom and I, we wanted to give the women's game, so we will talk about the huge women's game tomorrow night with Kansas State coming to town, and we're going to go at 9:30 as opposed to 1:30 like our normal Wednesday time tomorrow to give that. So we'll react to this, and then we'll preview tomorrow night. So that's what the game plan is. All right, Robert. Thank you, brother. Appreciate Aiden Wyatt producing as always. Give us 5 stars if you don't mind on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network. We're signing off. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Carl Auto Group, here on Cyclone